Most people don't care whether or not you have kids. The negative comments are from the social war people who get off contradicting people. Don't confuse a comment section for real life. You're right, real life people never talk about someone else's choice to procreate and whether or not it's the right choice. So now that we've got that settled, do you want to come sit next to me at the Benedictine College graduation ceremony?
There is nothing good about playing God with having children, whether that be your ideal number or the perfect time to conceive. No matter how you spin it, there is nothing natural about Catholic birth control.
Oh. Did you know that also last year at his alma mater, Georgia Tech, Butker gave basically just another version of this speech? And in it, he said, "Sadly, we are encouraged to live our lives for ourselves, to move from one thing to another with no long-term commitment, to have loyalty to nothing but ourselves, and sacrifice only when it suits our best interest. This loneliness is rooted in the lies being sold about self-dependence and prioritizing career over important relationships." Weird. I thought people didn't talk about that stuff in real life. Yet this famous-ish man not only wrote it into a speech, but that speech was approved by 2 colleges, which signifies that at least 3 real-life people believe this, and then that message was given to hundreds, perhaps thousands of young minds. You know, people always tell me and my fellow Childfree creators that our videos are dangerous because they might convince people to do something they don't want to do. Well, what about these speeches? Aren't they dangerous then too? Or are they not dangerous because they're saying what you want them to say? And since we're already talking about this slime ball, what the hell was that speech? Allegedly, it was 20 minutes long, which seems insane, but I haven't been to a college graduation in a while. Maybe that's normal. But also, even ignoring what he has to say, this guy is 28 years old. You don't know anything when you're 28. That being said, I was stunned to learn his age, not because he's very wise, but because of his outdated opinions. There's a part of his speech where he talks about how women should be choosing the life of a homemaker. He mentions that he couldn't have achieved his dreams without his wife Isabel choosing that life. He says that women have been diabolically lied to about a career fulfilling them, which I find pretty ironic because probably one of the big reasons that he is in the NFL is because he was able to play multiple sports when he was a kid. That allowed him to develop those skills at a private school because not only does his dad work, but his mom has her master's in medical physics and is a physicist who studies oncology. Had he not had 2 working parents, it's possible he wouldn't have been able to develop the skills that allowed him to be in the NFL. And I really want to know what his mom Elizabeth thinks about this speech. I saw an Instagram post tonight about how if you're a feminist, you should be happy for his wife Isabel because feminism is about choice. And they're absolutely right. If Isabel is in her element as a wife and mother, that's amazing. But she has a degree in computer science, and in his own speech, Butker himself said that she had a dream of having a career. And yes, dreams can change. But did hers change? Isabel, Elizabeth, I want to talk to you. I also thought it was interesting that he was talking about how people only choose like short-term goals. You have loyalty to nothing but yourself. That kind of describes his career. Like, football is not a lifelong career. So wouldn't it have been smarter for him to graduate college and then choose a job where he could work for 60 years? Also, many football players have CTE, which often leads to a lot of complications within a family, whether it's because you need to get medical care or because you are beating your family because your brain is that of an 80-year-old dementia patient. So I feel like he doesn't follow his own rules. But anyway, there's not much more that I can say about this speech that smarter people on this app haven't already said. I'm just stunned and disappointed that there are enough people in the world who think like him that he was able to give this speech. And according to my mutual Therese, this sort of fervent, old-fashioned Catholicism has really found a new life in the seminary students that are younger millennials and older Gen Z. Men, of course, and that can be dangerous.